I was 17 years old, a junior in high school, and I got a note from the teacher as I was sleeping in study hall to go meet with a recruiter. Met with the recruiter, and it was all a week later I was in the Guard. I've made mission every year I recruited. I led a team, and not every one of my recruiters made mission under me. A lot of them did. What is it that I do? Well, working in recruiting standards branch, what I do is about protecting the integrity of the recruiting process. Really holding standards, following DoD regulations, following the process procedures, and just ensuring that and providing that national level oversight for the recruiting process. If a person enlists, there's a good chance we're going to take a look at that packet. We find recruiter irregularities at MEPS, at the RSP, at the training installations. When it comes to recruiter irregularities, it could be something that the applicant has done wrong in the sense that they are withholding something from us, or it could be that the service or that recruiter or that contract official is doing wrong because they're promising something they're not supposed to be promising. Recruiter irregularity just means something didn't happen exactly as it's supposed to. Maybe an applicant didn't tell the recruiter about a medical issue, and then they went to the back in the medical section, and then they told their doctor about a broken arm, a broken leg, or maybe asthma, whatever it happens to be. Applicant said, no, there was never an issue with my health. They get back and talk to somebody else and say, yes, there was something wrong with my health. When that applicant gets kicked off the medical floor, that's a recruiter irregularity. That should be looked into. So if a person has too many dependents, they may require a waiver, or they may not be eligible to enlist. And so a recruiter or anybody involved in the process may coach an applicant to not talk about that son or daughter or how many kids they have. And so then when they go to talk to the liaison at training, they say, well, hey, I have the birth certificate and social security card for 2 kids here. Well, they're not listed anywhere in your record. Where's your family care plan? Where's your waiver? Who's taking care of these kids? And then that's when an irregularity is discovered. When it comes to recruiter irregularity at the ground level, it's gonna happen, but it's how do we respond to that? When our guidance counselors and our DA civilians are writing contracts, we need to make sure they're correct. So if we give a person a bonus for $20,000 to be an infantryman, is that bonus authorized? Because if it's not, we just made a false promise. And so then that's gonna have trickle effect of recruit doesn't get his money, he's gonna tell the paper, he's gonna go ahead and file a congressional investigation, and that looks bad for the National Guard and it hurts us in the community. A person joins the Guard as an 88 Mike, they're gonna be a truck driver, and they're given a $20,000 bonus for that. They weren't supposed to get the bonus because the incentive rules at the time, that job was not on that critical skill list for that state. No one caught it. Whether they meant to write them the bonus when they shouldn't have, or whether it was just an oversight, they promised an applicant $20,000 and they shouldn't have been. Well, when our contractors, our team found that contract, it was invalid without some steps that need to happen. We notified the state took action. They submitted an ETP to the incentives office. They were able to get it approved and get that soldier their money. If that was never found, if we didn't find that error, the soldier would not have been paid. An applicant withheld medical information, and then they went to training. And that soldier had serious medical issues, and they died. The first question that was asked was, did they list it on their pre-screening? Did they list it during the physical? This was a serious situation. A soldier died. The National Guard was covered. We had asked the questions. We had done the proper pre-screening. It wasn't us, it was the applicant. That's the worst case scenario. Before you send someone to MEPS, have a second person question your applicant. It is faster and more efficient to do it right than to cut a corner when it comes to sending an applicant to MEPS. You will spend more time trying to explain to people why you cut a corner, why you didn't get a document, why you didn't get those transcripts, as opposed to doing it the right way. It's not easier, but it is more efficient to do the right thing. We want to make sure that recruiters know that people are looking at the work they do. And it's not because we're trying to catch people, not because we're trying to get people in trouble. It's because we want to make sure that it's done right. And we want to make sure that those soldiers and those applicants, those new warriors, are getting what we promised them. We want to make sure that those new soldiers are taken care of. We want to make sure that it was done correctly.